This is the Kia E-Niro 4 Plus, Kia's top-of-the-range electric SUV, and it's been getting really great reviews in both its previous models and this top-of-the-line one for a number of years now. But what is it like to live with? I've had my Niro for just over a month and I've just topped over 1,000 miles. So in this video, I'm going to give you a run through of things I really love about the E-Niro and some things that could do with improving.
Probably my favourite thing about the E-Niro is just how refined and practical it is. Now, that's not kind of earth-shattering news, but there are a couple of real reasons for that, and the main one is that it's built on an existing platform, right? The Niro itself has been around for a while, it's been refined for a few model years, and it just means that aesthetically, on the outside, the car looks really good, and in the E version, most people don't really notice that it's an electric car, which, you know, says a lot. Gone are the days when people would kind of poke and look and think, God, what is that, when you peeled up an electric car. Now, also it means is that there's a couple of really good real life practical things about this car. So number one, in compact SUV, it comes with a hatchback boot, which for me suits my lifestyle really well. I looked at getting a Model 3, comes with a saloon boot, which for me I just can't be doing with. It's, you know, what's the point of a boot when you can't ram it full of stuff? And similarly, it comes with roof rails, so I can stick my existing roof rack on there and carry my bike. And, you know, for anyone else who's maybe looking at more storage, you can put a roof box or strap your canoe or whatever you want to it. But the point is, it's just a really well-refined car, which happens to be electric. Another thing I love about the E-Niro is just how normal it is. In terms of driving and experience, it's just kind of remarkably unremarkable, and to me that's a great thing. Firstly, because, you know, it just drives like a normal car, and again, I think that's really important as an individual, that I don't feel kind of weirded out or that I've got to adapt how I drive, but also in general for the transition to electric driving. If people are concerned or worried there's going to be a completely different experience, then that's going to put people off. And for me, again, that comes from the fact that the E-Niro is based on that Niro platform. So, you know, it just handles like a good quality compact SUV as you would expect. The added benefit you actually get from it being electric is that little bit of additional acceleration, especially when you're in sport mode like I am now. I can really accelerate into things if I want, which you wouldn't get in a petrol or diesel equivalent version of this, which, you know, would just be kind of bog standard, mid-engine size and not particularly exciting. But in the EV version, you just get that little bit of extra thrill and excitement if you flip it into sport.
I really like the tech inside the E-Niro, and nothing demonstrates that better than the big 10-inch screen which gives you access to the infotainment system. Now, I have to say, you probably won't be making much use of the inbuilt systems like the sat-nav and the radio once you've got your phone plugged in. Like I've got here with Apple CarPlay, it just works really well. It's really well integrated. It gives you everything you need. The screen itself, though, is really sharp, got really good contrast, and it's really easy to use whilst driving, which you can't say about every system like this.
Now, alongside the in-car technology, I really like the Uvo app, which comes with the Kia and allows you to do a variety of things remotely. So you can set the temperature, as I'm doing here, to a lovely 20 degrees on a cold December night. You can also do things like set the charging schedule to take advantage of better energy tariffs. You can even unlock the doors remotely if you want to help someone break into your car for some reason. The final piece of technology I really like about the E-Niro is the autonomous driving functions. Now, let's be straight, this isn't a self-driving car, but the adaptive cruise control that it comes with I do really like, and is really useful on longer journeys for just kind of relieving that stress and boredom of driving. So you can set the speed, and much like you can on any other cruise control, but it'll brake for you, it'll keep you in lane, it'll steer, it'll warn you about oncoming traffic and keep you a fair distance from the cars in front. It just makes journeys that little bit more pleasurable, especially longer ones. It will, of course, scream at you if you take your hands off the steering wheel, though, so don't do that. The adaptive cruise control as well, it's not just for those long motorway journeys. I'm in some traffic here coming up to a roundabout, and I'm currently cruising along at, well, 2 miles an hour as we go stop-start up to the roundabout. And the car is just doing its thing, noticing when the car in front moves off, keeping me the right distance, and accelerating when I need to accelerate, braking when it needs to brake. So it's just a really cool bit of tech which makes driving that little bit easier. And again, it just fits in with the EV really well.
So there you have it. Those are some of my favourite things about the E-Niro, and I have to say in summary that I absolutely love it. I do not regret the switch from my diesel car, and it's just been a pure pleasure to drive electric and enjoy all the stuff in the E-Niro. Now, I did say that I was going to give you some of the things that need improving in the car, and to be honest, that's been quite a difficult list to pull together, and I had to really think about it. But I did. I came inside, I sat down, had a cup of tea and thought about it for a while, and I did come up with a few things that I think need tweaking and could be refined in future models. Now, that being said, I want to point out that I won't be mentioning, and I haven't mentioned anything to do with charging, and I think that's really important and something to reiterate, that I've driven 1,000 electric miles and I haven't worried about charging at all. And even more importantly, I haven't even got a charger fitted at home right now, mainly due to my own ineptitude, but essentially the car turned up a lot earlier than I was expecting it, and I didn't have one sorted out. But I've driven 1,000 miles, I've been on short, medium and long journeys, and I just haven't worried about charging. I'm lucky to live in an area where there's plenty of public charging, but still I think it's really worth hammering home that point that, 250 miles of range, what are you waiting for? Get yourself an EV. But before you do that, check out some of the things that I think could do a little tweak on the E-Niro. Like so many things in life, the Kia's strengths are also where some of its weaknesses lie. Now, at the front of the car, there is no front boot, which is something that a lot of the E-Niro's competitors come with. And the reason for that is because where the diesel or petrol engine used to sit, they've just slotted an electric one straight in its place. Also, slightly frustratingly at the front, no kind of hydraulic or air pressure system to keep your bonnet up, something which came stock in my 6-year-old BMW. More frustratingly, at the rear of the car, where is my powered tailgate? It seems kind of crazy on a trim level which comes with everything from heated rear seats to some autonomous driving that I've got to open my own boot.
Sometimes when driving the E-Niro, it's a little bit like you're driving along with some kind of futuristic xylophone in the back, and it just starts randomly bonging and binging at you for no apparent reason. So turn the car on and you'll be serenaded with this delightful tune. When you got to your destination and you turn the car off, be serenaded with this one. And it's all a bit unnecessary when you add in, the warning for something in your blind spot, or the reversing noise that comes on like you're driving an articulated lorry, or the scream when you leave your key in the car but get out. It's just, is it going to stop you buying the car? Probably not, and it shouldn't. But it's just one of those things that for some reason manufacturers seem to feel the need to put on EVs, which they wouldn't necessarily put on ICE cars, and it just could do with a bit refining.
And finally, whilst I love the Uvo app, it has a pretty frustrating fault in that it can't decide whether it's metric or imperial, even once you've told it. I've put my settings into miles, but for some reason it wants to tell me my range in kilometres. Not sure what's going on there. So there you have it, guys. Those are my thoughts on the E-Niro after 1,000 miles of driving. And as you might have guessed, I'm a pretty big fan, not just of the E-Niro, but of electric driving. The switch has been really easy and I don't regret it at all. If you like the video, please give it a like and also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos, trying to break down some of the myths and answer some of the questions around switching to an EV, and hopefully convince some of you guys to make the switch as well. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.